Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Game Film School, the show that takes a look at video games and the films that influence them. In this episode, I will discuss Visceral Games' 2008 space survival horror title, Dead Space. Dead Space's frightening and immersive gameplay draws heavy influence from the space horror genre. The franchise's art director Ian Milham cites films such as Solaris, Sunshine, and Event Horizon as strong influences for the game's story and setting, while The Thing and the works of David Fincher shaped the game's look and feel. Even though Milham says that they did not try to copy Ridley Scott's Alien too much, we still can't ignore the influence of that sci-fi horror masterpiece that is found in the game's DNA. The story of Dead Space focuses on a silent protagonist named Isaac Clarke, a ship systems engineer who is part of a rescue team sent to investigate a distress signal sent by the missing USG Ishimura, the same ship where Isaac's girlfriend is stationed on. Upon their arrival, the ship's occupants are missing, and most of Isaac's crew is ambushed by a horrific creature called a necromorph. It's Isaac's job to get the Ishimura up and running while trying to decipher what happened to the missing crew members. As mentioned before, Ridley Scott's 1979 film Alien cannot be ignored when talking about science fiction horror, as the movie popularized the genre. Putting a crew up against an unknown extraterrestrial being that is hunting them down in a confined setting with no escape but the vastness of space is a backdrop that many films and video games have drawn from. Alien follows the commercial space tug Nostromo and its crew on a return mission to Earth when they detect a distress signal from a derelict alien ship. When searching the inside of the craft, one of the crew members gets a face full of facehugger and is taken back to the Nostromo, where the creature starts causing havoc aboard the ship. The film does a skillful job of creating tension and discomfort through its claustrophobic setting and the suggestive design of the alien itself. The basic premise of an abandoned ship with strange things running amok has been seen in many science fiction movies, even dating back to the 1972 Soviet science fiction film Solaris. Trading in aliens and space marines for a more meditative and psychological drama, Solaris still has many similarities to Dead Space's story of isolation. The film centers on Chris Kelvin, a psychologist sent to a space station to determine whether it should continue to study the oceanic planet of Solaris. Upon his arrival, he sees the station abandoned in disarray, and the remaining crew members are acting odd, keeping themselves locked in their rooms with strange inhabitants. Kelvin starts hallucinating himself, seeing manifestations of his dead wife. These hallucinations are created by the mysterious ocean swirling under the space station. Parallels between the ocean of Solaris and Dead Space's red marker are evident. In the game, the sacred red marker causes humans on board the ship to suffer from mass hysteria and violent hallucinations, eventually turning the dead bodies into necromorphs. It infects Isaac Clarke, who throughout the game's story hallucinates, seeing visions of his girlfriend and eventually finding out that she committed suicide long before Isaac and his crew had gotten there. Similar to Dead Space, Solaris takes place almost entirely aboard a space station, creating a feeling of claustrophobia and isolation as the characters aboard are suffering emotional distress thanks to the ship's inhabitable conditions. Solaris, and to even a greater degree, Alien's success with using this kind of claustrophobic setting led to many copycats. Sunshine, the 2007 Danny Boyle movie, takes place in the year 2057 on a spacecraft called Icarus II, which is holding a crew of 8 passengers and a colossal nuclear bomb set to reignite the dying sun, which is causing the Earth to go into an ice age. The Icarus II picks up the distress beacon of Icarus I, the first ship to attempt a similar mission, which disappeared years earlier. They decide to change course and investigate, leading to a lot more trouble than they intended. After many setbacks, they finally make it to Icarus I, where they find the crew dead and a video of the captain who has gone insane. These events unfold the same way in the game as you learn through audio and text logs about the crew's fate and about Captain Mathis, who himself has gone crazy. Of all the copycat films, it seems that Event Horizon had the most influence on Dead Space's story and ship design. The cult 1997 space horror flick has many similarities with the story of Dead Space. For one, it follows the same plot thread as all the other movies mentioned. Crew sees a distress signal, crew goes to investigate, and crew gets slaughtered. Pretty much the same exact formula. There are more specific story beats, such as Sam Neill's character, Dr. William Weir, having visions of his dead wife, as well as grotesque gore and violence, but the largest link between the two stories is their religious imagery and themes of ancient evils. In Dead Space, the red marker is a very important figure to the religion of Unitology. The marker itself turns people into necromorphs, which the insane Ishimura captain believes is some kind of religious awakening. In Event Horizon, the ship itself drives its crew insane, making them brutally mutilate themselves and each other in an attempt to kill and lure them back through a portal to hell. Yeah, it's pretty batshit crazy. Dr. William Weir, the Event Horizon creator, has become possessed by the ship and is determined to send it through a portal to hell in a very terrifying, unintentionally hilarious, and unforgettable scene.
What happened to your eyes?
Where am I going? We won't need eyes to see.
What are you talking about?
Event Horizon not only influenced Dead Space's story, but the art design of the USG Ishimura. The dark, gothic architecture and the ribbed walls made to resemble animal carcasses can be seen in both spacecrafts. Dead Space's mining bay with the asteroid protected by giant swinging clamps is just about identical to the gravity drive in Event Horizon. This dark style mixed with the grotesque violence gives the game a unique atmosphere apart from other more clean and 70s futuristic games such as Mass Effect. The necromorphs are revealed to have once been human but have transformed by the power of the red marker. These creatures have their roots in body horror, most notably John Carpenter's 1982 film The Thing. The movie is about a shape-shifting alien that crashes near an Arctic research facility and infests its hosts, trying to mimic their DNA, which leads to horrific transformations. The necromorph's character design takes inspiration from the shape-shifting creature in The Thing. Alien also has its touch on the creature design. In Alien, the fear is not necessarily the fear of death, but the fear of parasitism and male penetration. The sexual overtones of Alien were very effective, and can be seen in some of Dead Space's necromorph designs. On the subject of body horror, the sequel to Alien, Aliens, can be seen in the atmosphere of the Ishimura's interior. In Aliens, a group of space marines explore another ship that has been infested by xenomorphs. The ship has grown over and morphed into a habitat that itself looks alien. The USG Ishimura has this same look, with its walls and hallways grown over with an alien type of substance, making the entire ship a nest for necromorphs. Finally, the early works of David Fincher influenced the tone and feel of Dead Space. Fincher's works such as Seven, Fight Club, Zodiac, and even Alien 3 influenced the grimy and yellow tone throughout. In a 2009 article with Kotaku, Milham explained that the colors in movies such as Seven and Fight Club feel hopeless and decayed. Milham goes on to say that colors like Fincher's are consistent with one frame, but varied throughout the whole project, which is definitely what happens in Dead Space. The Leviathan boss fight is a good example of this, as it starts out blue and warms up to red as the boss comes closer towards Isaac. Fincher is also known for his tight camera shots of his characters to keep the viewer emotionally close to the subject, as well as exposing great detail to the audience. Dead Space's close third-person camera creates the same effect, creating a connection between the player and Isaac, as well as showing small details such as the lights on Isaac's suit indicating how much health he has left. Finally, Fincher's films deal with characters on the fringe of madness. His characters range from paranoid and obsessive, not unlike Robert Graysmith in Zodiac, to full-on schizophrenic, much the same as the narrator in Fight Club. Isaac's character is going through similar kinds of character psychosis. Though triggered by the red marker, he does suffer from loneliness, paranoia, and schizophrenia as he makes his way through the derelict USG Ishimura. Dead Space borrows from some of the best sci-fi horror films to make an experience that is truly cinematic, even to today's standards. Taking pieces from films like Solaris, Event Horizon, and the works of David Fincher, along with its fantastic immersive gameplay, even 10 years later, Dead Space still holds up as one of the greats.